Liverpool 3, West Ham 1, English Premier League. This is what Onto the Ball was created for. Let's go.
Header. But oh, you beauty! What a head, son! What a head!
Yes, Travis.
Yes.
We are top of the league. I say we are top of the league.
Are you top now then?
Well, look, give or take 2 points, yeah?
Yeah, forget City. Forget City. You're top of the second league, isn't it? Living a league on their own. But call yourselves top of the league. Drink it in. Drink it in.
I don't know where to start. We're absolutely flamey, incredible.
You are.
But the scores flooding in.
I
mean, let me just see if I can get them up. Chelsea have lost yet again. This new manager bounce from Poch. Where has it gone?
I don't know.
They just haven't had it.
Dan must be feeling blue at the minute, man. Forget 2 blues in it. I'm gonna have to check him, make sure he's all good, man.
I was just on his stream there asking what was going on, and he was giving it to a few players. But yeah, so Chelsea 0, Villa 1. Brighton was 3-1 last time I seen. North London derby, Arsenal 2, Spurs 2.
Yeah.
Liverpool obviously 3-1. Liverpool are flying. Liverpool are absolutely flying. This is what Onto the Ball was created for. All that pain last season that I went through, wondering why we ever started this podcast. Because Liverpool, as soon as we went live September a year ago, Liverpool were basically in the mud, but we are back. Do you know the word that I want to use to describe our performances in this season is control. We're always controlling games now. Last season, we had no control.
Yeah.
Against Wolves, even when we went 1-0 down, we were controlling it. We didn't panic. We thought, stick to the game plan. We're going to get back into it. Went 1-0 down against Bournemouth. Same control, got back into it. Today was just we were basically never in danger. When it went 1 each, it was like, what on earth has happened here? We were all over them. Like, I mean, I'm going to say a bit probably about every single player, but this save that Alisson pulled off in the first half, it was like nothing that I've ever seen before. Wait till you watch Match of the Day 2 tonight. It was like a point blank header, bottom corner. And it was, I think it was 0-0 by then, or it might have been 1-0 to us. No, it was 0-0. It was the first 10 minutes. I remember writing in my Liverpool group, I was like, we're all over the shop here. They're all over us. And then, it was like Gordon Banks down at his far post, scooped it out of the bottom corner, out for a corner. It was incredible. But listen, this Dominic Szoboszlai, he is only 6 games into his Premier League Liverpool career. And I'm telling you now, I'm calling it. He is already getting mentioned alongside Premier League legends like Steven Gerrard, Xabi Alonso, Gini Wijnaldum, Jordan Henderson when he was in his pomp. Jesus. That is like, he's incredible.
Yeah.
Your favorite word, right? When we were ripping you about Pogba, you were like, he's got all the attributes. And I remember saying, but if he doesn't apply the attributes, Dominic Szoboszlai has got all the attributes. I mean, you've watched him so far. You didn't watch any today. You were on the NLD, weren't you?
Yeah, I was watching.
But he's powerful. He's like the Terminator. He's relentless. He does not stop running, does not stop working. He's cooking something up on that right-hand side.
Is he?
Normally it would be with Trent, but Gomez was there today. I'll have a word on Gomez as well, but he's cooking something up on that right-hand side triangle with him, Salah, and then Trent or Gomez today. And I'm just over the moon. I know you tweeted about him yesterday saying he's hit the ground running in the Premier League. From a rival fan, what's your impression of Dominic Szoboszlai?
Yeah, exactly what I said on the tweet. He has hit the ground running. He's been absolutely fantastic for Liverpool, to be honest. And I mean, I hate to say this, but I did say this last season when you were saying you would sell every single player apart from like 2. I was like, there's a lot there. Like, there will be managers that will want to work with that squad. And you just needed the midfield. And it wasn't the midfield that FSG necessarily promised, but you've bought 4 midfielders and it's paid off. Do you know what I mean? You bought in Gravenberch, Szoboszlai, McAllister, and Endo, and whatever Jurgen Klopp's done in terms of the mechanics isn't our job. He's the manager, like you said. He is a top class manager, and he's worked it out, and everybody seems to be in sync now. Like Szoboszlai, going back to what you said, like you said, he's a fantastic talent, and like you said, he's got the physical attributes to cope with the demands of the Premier League as well. So yeah, I think if he can continue his form with a couple of others, there's no reason why you can't put yourself in a title race this season. Like you said, it's early days, but to win, like you said, is it 5 out of the first 6? With one draw?
We drew the first one against Chelsea.
And you've won the rest, haven't you?
We've won the rest.
That's it.
I'm just going to get the league table up and see if I can share it. So yeah, I mean, even the first game of the season, we should have won that. I don't care what anyone says. I don't know if Dan is on his stream. I've seen big up to Dan from Two Blues. Just when I come on here, he had 25 viewers, man. Incredible. Well deserved as well.
Well done, man. That's
great
big.
Channel.
Yeah.
Yeah, there.
Look at the form. Like you said, 5 straight wins in the league.
The one that popped out of the picture there is Chelsea.
5 conceded as well. I mean, you've got, like you said, with that midfield, you've got your defense back as well, because obviously you were conceding lots of chances last year. You're not conceding a lot of chances at all this year, which is brilliant. And like you said, I think with McAllister or whoever's been sitting in that number 6 role, like you said, and you've alluded to the control, you've been able to just get McAllister on the ball a lot, and you've been controlling games through possession, not necessarily somebody physically just ratting around, smashing into people like your traditional DM. You've got legs in there, and you've got the control of the ball. And like you said, you've become more of a possession team this year. When I watch Liverpool, you're controlling games through having a lot of the ball, Trent inverting and going in there with his passing abilities as well. So yeah, I think it's all great for Liverpool moving forward. And like I said, I can't see it really stopping, to be honest. I think you've got the players there. You've got plenty of goals in your team. And if you can keep the likes of Van Dijk fit, and Konate coming back in the team. I mean, he didn't even play today, but with him coming back, I think it's only going to get stronger for Liverpool. So yeah, don't sleep on him.
The thing is, obviously, once injuries hit, that's when you really start testing your squad. But the thing is, when you look at the players that are not even playing for Liverpool at the minute, like Gakpo, Jota, both come off the bench. Jota got a goal. You got Gravenberch, who's dying for a Premier League full debut. Thiago's still to come back from injury. Elliott keeps coming on with these cameo roles off the bench. Elliott's better off the bench. That's the sad thing. But if he got a start anytime soon, would not starve him of it, because he's been absolutely tremendous. And then today, obviously, the ones that started, McAllister in the number 6, he didn't put a foot wrong, set up Nunez's goal to make it 2-1. Absolutely tremendous performance. And then obviously Szoboszlai that we've just mentioned. So it's like real strength in depth. And then we haven't even touched on Endo. I think Endo's going to have the shortest Liverpool career you'll ever know.
Well, this is it. I think as well, like, it's like sort of like the second coming of Liverpool. Like, everyone just seems hungry. But again, that tone for me is set from the manager. Like, I was saying at the back end of last season, I was thinking, how much more can he sort of like not take of this, but how much longer does he want to go on? Thinking, can I go again? Am I going to rebuild another team? But obviously, in the back of his mind, he probably thought, well, there's not much of a rebuild that needs to happen. I just need a few new midfielders, and I'm happy with the other 2 departments. But everyone looks hungry. That's what I'm seeing from the performances, what I've seen from Liverpool so far. You've sort of got that hunger back. It's like you've got a point to prove again. And there was a lot of doubters, including myself, but you've responded so far, and you've proven a lot of doubters wrong, shutting people like me up. So it's good to see for Liverpool. Horrible for me, I must say.
I was going to say, I love shutting you up.
I'm hating it, but for you, nah, it's sick, mate. I can't take it away. Liverpool look really impressive.
But yeah, I mean, obviously, today was like vintage Liverpool. Like we have been the last 5 years, so solid at home, ultimate control. And then when you think of the injuries we've had, like you say, Konate didn't play today. Matip was fantastic. I'm always Matip's biggest fan. Joe Gomez, he's a better right back than he is a centre back. That is the facts of it. Joe Gomez is a solid right back. I feel like we've got to forget about him as a centre back. Obviously, with Trent being there, he's not going to get many opportunities at right back. But whenever he steps in, he never puts a foot wrong. He was immense today. Robertson was back to his best. He's obviously buzzing. He scored a great goal against Wolves to put us in the lead. He's been away with Scotland. He played fantastically against England. You can see he's just found his form again.
Yeah.
Because he's had a bit of criticism off Liverpool fans, definitely on Twitter in the last 12 months, saying that Robertson's over the hill. He's 29 now. His best days are behind him. And I've honestly never seen it. And that's not just me having Pool's rose-tinted glasses on.
Yeah.
I watch it and I think, if anything, we're asking him to play as a third centre-back while Trent inverts. It's not really his position at all. But if anything, obviously with Trent being out, we were more of a back four today. So it was Gomez down the right, Robbo down the left, and it paid dividends. It was really good.
The injury, like you said, the injury might have been a little bit of a blessing in disguise for this particular game. Then you probably just needed it to be a little bit more solid today. But yeah, alluding back on your point, that's how Twitter can be, mate. You've seen it yourself. Like, it can be like with certain players and that, and they start once they like carry these agendas and the narratives against certain players, that players can get caught up in it. Like you said, Robbo, you've seen it yourself. We get it the same at United. With Rashford, Bruno, maybe Rashford justified a little bit more quite recently with his performances. But yeah, we get the same. And like you said,
there was a man calling for Klopp's head over the summer.
Yeah.
Talking about his talent ID of picking players and how this George Schmadtke coming in as director of football on a 3-month contract, almost saying like Klopp's had his time. And obviously I was reading it and thinking, are you absolutely mad? After the last 8 years, we should be more inclined to be petitioning and campaigning for a statue of him outside Anfield.
Yeah.
But there was this certain there was this certain minority who were like, Klopp's had his day, it's best he leaves and things like that. And you've only got to look at, obviously, the way the signings are settled, Szoboszlai and McAllister in particular, to see that, in my opinion, Liverpool are back.
There was a lot of uproar about that George Schmadtke, though. I think even you were saying he looks dead and he's only on a 3-month
It's just I think what didn't help Schmadtke was Fabinho and Henderson ended up leaving. That wasn't part of the plan. No. So it was almost like they had to rejig the part of the plan that they thought. And for sure, I don't think Gravenberch would have come in if we didn't get rid of Fabinho and Henderson. So it was a bit of, they had to have a rethink of the strategy. So I think it's pretty evident now that instead of buying Bellingham for 100 million, they decided to spend 60 on Szoboszlai and 40 on McAllister. So that was almost two in, 4 left with Keita, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Milner, and Bobby Firmino left, but he's not a midfielder. So it was almost like 2 in, but then we've ended up replacing Henderson and Fabinho with Endo and Gravenberch. I mean, Endo, I don't know what to say about Endo.
Well, that's
he's going to have a shorter career than Christian Poulsen. Do you remember Christian Poulsen?
Yeah, I can remember
Roy Hodgson signed him. Honestly, he's going to have a shorter career than him.
Yeah,
you can just tell Klopp don't fancy him. Again, that magical word, attributes. Endo hasn't got the attributes to be a success in the Premier League. And I know it's a dangerous thing to write someone off due to their height or their attributes. We've seen it with Jamie Carragher and Martinez last year. He's eating his words, although he hasn't had a great start this season, Martinez. But yeah, we've just got to forget about Endo. I think he's comfortably about 9th choice centre mid.
Sometimes you got to filter through the fog as well. Like, obviously, Liverpool's rebuild was like not hyped up, but it was built up that like huge to be Bellingham, Caicedo, and you was expecting all these players. So then when you got linked with the likes of who you ended up getting, it seemed underwhelming at the time. But let's be honest, Bellingham would have had this Real Madrid offer there. Do you know what I mean? With his agent and stuff. Like when Real Madrid come calling, I'm not even going to say 9 times out of 10, 10 times out of 10, you're not turning down Real Madrid.
I obviously 100% respect your opinion, but he was coming to Liverpool. We pulled out.
Why do you think he was coming to Liverpool so much though?
I don't know. I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know why. Honestly, I don't know why. He's not obviously a Liverpool supporter. It was just so, it was like common knowledge he was coming. And I think it was sorted out with his agent or his mum and dad. I think his dad's his agent. I think it was he's going to come to Liverpool. There's a plan. They got a plan for him. 3 years at Liverpool, then go Real Madrid. I think what broke the deal down was that he wanted to be straight in on Mo Salah type wages, 350 a week. So he was saying, look, I'm coming to Liverpool. I'll give you my word. And it's, it's part of my plan. I've always wanted to come, but you're going to pay me. And I think we've tried to lowball him 150K. And then, after your first year, go to 200, then 250. And I think straight away he was like, I tell you what, I'm just going to skip Liverpool. They've kind of leaked to the press that they're not in for me and they'd rather spend the money wisely elsewhere. And I think it ended up like that. I think Real Madrid was a little bit too soon for his career choice, but it's proven right so far. He's going to absolutely smash it there and win. Probably.
If anything, it was
La Decima European Cups
football or something. I could have seen like the lack of Champions League football. You didn't get in, so he didn't go, and he decided to change his mind last minute. But I don't know, because like you said, he would have known for a long time you weren't going to pay him 350 if he was going. Like that's the only thing I can't see. I think it's difficult for a player to turn down Real Madrid. But like you said, he is way ahead of his time for me. Like you said, it might have been a little bit too early for him to go, but he's just slotted straight. And it's like he's not, he's just taken to it like a duck to water. But yeah, back on Liverpool, I think it might have seemed underwhelming because of the players you were linked with. Then there was the Caicedo fiasco. And I genuinely do believe that you tried to get a player of that sort of magnitude, but that's more to appease the fans. And Liverpool have never done that. They've never had to go out and sign that big marquee household name to appease the fans. They've always had a plan. They've always had a structure of what they wanted to do. And yes, you do sometimes spend big if you sell to buy, but like the Van Dijks and the Allisons, but there's always been a strategy there. So that's why I was saying it would be interesting to see what Liverpool are going to be like with the Caicedo and thing. I was sort of excited about it because it was that big outlay of money that I've never seen Klopp have. I was intrigued to see what it was going to work like. And then when the deal fell through, I was like, damn, they're going to use the Netspend Cup again as an excuse. I was vexed. I was like, the Netspend Cup's kicked in again, bro. I was like, nah. But yeah, no, you are doing really well. And like you said, the midfielders that have come in have really invigorated the rest of the squad. I think it's given everybody a boost. I think the different types you've got in there as well. McAllister, he's such a different type of player to like Szoboszlai and Gravenberch, different profiles. I think the balance of the squad's there now. So yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting season. I think you can push on.
I think McAllister could even be a natural number 6. The one thing, I said this last year on the poddy when I was watching Brighton and watching McAllister, he loves a tackle. He loves a scrap. And that's one of his greatest attributes, McAllister. He won the ball in the second half near the byline today. And it was just a great tackle. He's like a little terrier, a dog. Just wins the balls in all the areas and pops it off dead quick. You could end up seeing him a fixture at number 6. But the one thing I was thinking watching that was, obviously, like I say, Fabinho was not in the plan to go. All right.
Yeah.
I thought Fabinho should go, as you know. I thought his legs were gone. I thought his time's up. Burnt out is a little bit far. I don't believe that burnt out at 29, take a month's holiday and regen. So I don't believe in burning out, but he did go and I thought he should. But when I was watching that today, I was thinking, I wonder what Fabinho, the lighthouse, as they'd call him, his nickname, to be in that number 6, Szoboszlai to his right, McAllister to his left. I bet he'd have flourished in this team with these legs around him. But obviously we'll never get to know now. But the front 3, Nunez should have and could have had a hat trick today. Yeah, he was absolutely on fire. He ended up getting the goal to put us 2-1 up, and absolutely majestic ball by Alexis McAllister. He just scooped it over the defender. Nunez volleyed it in the bottom corner. It was magic to watch.
I did see the goal on Twitter, actually. I saw the chance he missed just before as well. The thing is about McAllister as well, I think we forget, because of his name and stuff, you forget he's Argentinian, and they're all fighters, aren't they? South Americans, they do fight. Mascherano, you've had a lot of players like that yourself.
Suarez,
Gabriel Heinz, a lot of those players are like that. But yeah, going back to the goal, I mean, Nunez, I saw a few things on Twitter as well. It was the front 3 that everyone wanted, weren't it? Nunez, Salah, Diaz. That
looks like a bit of a fixture now, which obviously it doesn't make good reading for Gakpo and Jota, because neither of them do anything wrong when they play. But it's kind of, and we mentioned it, didn't we? It's going to naturally happen, the strong front 3, and it's just going to become almost an automatic pick. Diaz is automatic now. Salah speaks for himself. So there's just that one spot left. And to be honest, Gakpo can play in the centre, Jota can play in the centre, but Nunez has got the share, and he's just, it's just has got that feeling. I wrote him off at the start of the season, all right, because we're here to make big calls, controversial calls.
You wrote everyone off apart from Klopp. You literally wouldn't have had a team.
We're here to write receipts, aren't we? All right, because that's what football rivalry is about.
That's why the receipts as well, because we can always return them, mate. Don't worry about
exactly.
it. We can always go back to.
So I wrote him off, but it was almost like reverse psychology, thinking, right, Nunez, in my mind, you're done now. You're finishing is not up to scratch in this Liverpool team. You're always going to snatch at chances, and in my defence, the best chances he takes are the ones where he hasn't got any time to think. Like you think of the 2 Newcastle goals. He turned, spun round, Salah put it on a plate, and then it was just apply the finish. No time to think. But the times when he's got time to think, you see him getting caught in no man's land.
Yeah.
It's like he'd sometimes rather assist Salah than score himself. So it's a bit like get that selfish Michael Owen type play into your game. Just think of yourself, just for 5 games, get a couple of goals, boost your confidence, and then assisting Salah or Diaz or anyone else, it'll just come naturally then. You're not overthinking it. You're not snatching at chances. But again, that's him scored again today. He's going to be a fixture in this front 3. I can just see it. You can feel it. It's like I just said, it's working itself out. But obviously that's a bit of a problem for Klopp now, because he's got Gakpo and Jota are going to be chomping at the bit on the sideline, thinking pools are absolutely flying. Well, winning game after game. We're on a 17-match unbeaten run now, stretching back to last season. Wow. The longest in the Premier League. I think the next longest was something like 6 or 7. I think Spurs might be next. I think they're on 6, so that'll be 8 now because they drew today with Arsenal. But yeah, obviously Liverpool are flying, and when you're flying as a forward, you want to be in the team getting goals. And Jota got his goal today. Do you know what I mean? So they're coming off bench and they're still motivated and they're happy, and they'll get lots of games. It's Leicester on Wednesday night in the EFL Cup, so I'm pretty sure Gakpo and Jota will start then. We'll be flipping in maybe a Kwanzaa at centre-back again. Kanate might get another game to up his fitness. I don't know why he didn't play today. I can only imagine he maybe felt a bit of tightness. I can't think of any other reason to start Matip over Kanate now, but he did, and he got the call right. But yeah, I mean, Liverpool, they've surpassed my expectations. I'm pleasantly surprised. Obviously, when you miss out on Bellingham, when you see the PR stunt, which is what it was a PR stunt of £111 million bid for Caicedo, which now we all know it must be a fact now that we done that to make Chelsea overpay for him. Yeah. They were sniffing around 90 million. There must have been something going on with Romeo Lavia where they were trying to hijack our bid for him. So we thought, I'll tell you what, we'll put in a big bid for Caicedo so that you have to up it there. Maybe that would scare them off Lavia. It worked the opposite. They ended up just buying both of them. But how's that working out, Chelsea? Not so good. But yeah, I'm surprised. But obviously, I'll take it every day of the week. And it's, like I said, it's not just about the wins, Trav. It's about the control. There's none of this. Remember last season, you come on these streams laughing when we got beat by Leeds, or we got
the games were end-to-end.
You were like, it's a basketball game. I'm loving watching it. It's like end-to-end, no control, kamikaze defending. There's none of that anymore. It's like the midfield. And again, I see ball, you see ball. I said, I've got this feeling if we fix the midfield, it will fix the defense as well. It will make the defense look a million times better. And then lo and behold, what's happening?
You're controlling the game. And like you said, I mean, it's a great problem for Klopp to have. Like you said, there's so many games, bro. And the thing is, this season, I don't know if it's because it's off the back of... in fact, I don't know why I'm saying that. I know it's this reason. Off the back of a World Cup year, every squad is picking up major injuries, major amounts of injuries, because they didn't get enough rest in the summer. They didn't. And all the big teams flew around the States, Australia, flying all over the place, going on these like tours to earn like a lot of commercial revenue and stuff. But the squads are suffering. Like Arsenal picked up a couple today. Declan Rice got injured today, so he's out. Partey's already out. They've got a few injuries. Timber's out for the season, so theirs are starting to rack up. Trossard missed the game. We've obviously had a lot of injuries as well. You've had your own fair share of injuries. Even City, as big as their squad is, they've got injuries. So it's no coincidence that off the back of a World Cup year, you need your squad to have a lot of depth this year. And I think with Liverpool, with everyone purring, it's only going to be a boost. Like you said, Jota, Gakpo. What I think Klopp's doing quite well as well this season is he is rotating them all. Like Gakpo started off this season playing as a false 9. Jota even started the first 2 to 3 games. Now Nunez is coming in. He's keeping everyone fresh. And with the Europa League as well, I think he'll make changes in that. So yeah, I think it's all positive. There's nothing coming out of the club negative about Liverpool. And you've got the fans on side. Everyone's buzzing at the moment. So long may it continue. And like you said, you just need to keep going. Make sure you don't get any injuries. Keep everyone rotated again. And just keep picking up points. And that's it. Stays. You just got to hang in there with City. Because City, no matter what injuries they got, they're just blasting everyone. Do you know what I mean? They are. And they're just an absolute machine. So all you can do is keep winning. And when you're in a title race like this, the performances are less important at the moment. It's about just picking up the points.
I don't think anyone's going to be in a title race, are they? I know I've just sat here saying Liverpool are back and I'm buzzing. And obviously I am. I'm delighted just to be up there winning games. Look after yourself, concentrate on your own results. But it's deflating when you watch Man City. Even if they go 1-0 down or 2-0 down. I don't think they've gone 2-0 down, but you still look at him and think they'll win 4-2.
Yeah, of course you do. Of course you do. I mean, they're a joke. They are an actual joke. Adding Doku as well.
And the thing is, they're doing the same as well, Trav. They're rotating the side so much. Obviously, me and you play FPL, and obviously you're thinking how many Man City players to have in, how many Arsenal players. When you're thinking Man City, you're thinking, I'm not sure if he's going to start or not. Yeah. I'm not sure what defence he's going to put out. I'm not sure what midfield. I don't know if Foden's going to be playing or not. The only one, obviously, everyone's got is Haaland. But other than that...
Yeah, like you said, you don't know who's going to play. Like Alvarez has been the one that's been playing with Haaland quite a bit. But like you said, Foden, Doku, whoever it is, they just change it all the time. It can be anyone. Bernardo Silva, Grealish, they rotate so much.
Mateus Nunez started yesterday.
They've just
got probably finding his feet.
This is it. Defense. Yeah. Gvardiol, Aki, Akanji. It's just like I said, I think City have got some tests coming up there. I think they might have, well, not us. I don't regard United as a test. Well, they've got Arsenal coming up. I think they've got Arsenal coming up, and they might even have Liverpool in a few games as well. To be fair, so we'll see. I mean,
we play them in November.
Yeah, that's it. November's around the corner next month. I know they'll definitely play Arsenal. I think Arsenal game might be next week. And they're both missing big players. Rodri got sent off yesterday, so he's going to miss that game. Rice looks like he might be out. Apparently, Rice has had a calf problem since the start of the season. So he's pulled up today. So he could be out of that game. So that's going to be a huge blow for both clubs because Arsenal haven't got Partey either. So without them two, for me, that's advantage City. If Rice was playing and Rodri wasn't, I'd say it's tight. But if Rice and Partey are out against City, then they could struggle in midfield. Yeah,
Rice is a calf problem.
Yeah, so I don't know how long that. Yeah, is that, and Partey's already out for a couple of months. Yeah, they've got Wolves away, then Arsenal away in the league.
Arsenal,
then Brighton.
That'd be a good game.
I mean, yeah, that's not easy. Then
Man United.
Derby. So them next four are pivotal. Chelsea aren't in it at all really at the moment. They're all over the place, Chelsea. But yeah, the next four for City, I think if they can come through winning 3 out of 4, then the league's is more or less going to be over, to be fair, unless Liverpool can keep their form up. But like I said, don't underestimate Liverpool. You've got plenty of goals in the team and you're not conceding many goals. That's a recipe for a title winning team. Like you said, you've got a fantastic goalkeeper who can win you a league as well. So you've just got to hang in there till January, late January, February, because you know what City are like. They can put a run together of 14, 15 after Christmas. So if you can be close to him, that's all you got to think about. Look after yourself, take each game as it comes and just go from there, mate.
And obviously hope they have injuries in key areas that can trip them up a
little. They've already got De Bruyne out, haven't they? They've got Rodri suspended now. They've got a few injuries, to be fair. So I know at the
back, Haaland couldn't play without De Bruyne, and he's still smashing it.
It's just a joke, isn't it?
How long's De Bruyne been out for? Is that still showing the screen?
The first game of the season, yeah, it's still showing. Since the first game of the season, Grealish is out as well. He's not been playing, has he? And that's what's going to happen after Christmas. They're going to get all them players back. and they're just all going to be fresh.
What chance have we got? So Grealish is out, De Bruyne is out, Rodri's out.
Page again, where it shows you all the injuries. Go back a page. It showed you everyone who was injured. I think, Bernardo Silva, Mateo Kovacic. I didn't even know Kovacic was injured. Grealish must have just come back. So yeah, they like I said in their forward section as well. They've only got 3 players classed as forwards, but Bernardo Silva sometimes plays up there. But yeah, like you said, Liverpool, all you can do is hang in there, keep pushing, keep picking up the wins. Who you got next?
I'm sure we're away to Spurs. Do you know that?
Ooh.
So that's when it all comes crashing down.
Spurs look good today. That's
Ange Ball has just got it going on, hasn't he?
Mate. And he bought Ange Ball to the Emirates today. I'm telling you now, I really underestimated him. Not because I didn't think they were a good team, but I just thought Arsenal just have a little bit too much for him. And the first 25 minutes, Arsenal were unbelievable. Saka was getting in pockets and stuff. And I thought when they went 1-0 up, this could turn to 2 or 3. But fair play to him, man. They were brave. They was playing out from the back, playing their regular style at the Emirates. It was so good to see. He's doing a fantastic job there, mate.
He's the manager Chelsea should have got then, really, isn't he?
Potentially. It's looking like it at the minute.
So, yeah, in the league, we're away to Spurs after Leicester in the FL Cup. Europa League, don't even look at that. It's not even worth looking at. Away to Brighton. Wow. This is where it gets sticky. Away to Spurs, then away to Brighton for Liverpool.
And then Everton.
All that good work could have been undone.
No.
Home to Everton. Home to Forest. Away to Luton. That's 9 out of 9 there. Liverpool, Brentford, Man City, Liverpool.
Nice. So, yeah, like you said, you got a couple
easy.
Easy, mate. The way you're playing it's easy, brother.
Ultimate control. Do you want to tell me about Man United yesterday? I didn't see any of it. I did watch like the 3-minute highlights on YouTube. I seen the goal, obviously. It was Van Persie-esque. But what about a word for my boy, Johnny Evans? What did I tell you? I've been watching Leicester for 3 years now at the King Power Stadium. 2 players always stand out for the last 3 years. James Maddison and Johnny Evans. He's a baller. He's a good lad. Real good lad. He'd be playing even if Maguire was fit.
Yeah, well, he should be, yeah. I mean, I'll be honest, it's not the way I want United to play, but we got the job done. And I think the result yesterday was definitely more important than the performance, but it was a painful watch. It really was not a nice watch. We were dead.
In what way?
Just like I thought we was going to set up in a diamond again, which we were in possession at times, but out of possession, we set up as a 4-2-3-1. So I thought, right, okay, we'll go back to our sort of wingers. It was a shape we're familiar with, but we just sat off Burnley. It was weird. Like it was like we respected them just so much. It was mad. Like Burnley had 70% possession at home to us.
I've seen it.
I was like, what is going on? Like that is not, no other team in the top 6 would go to Burnley and sit off and just let him have it. And I don't mind tactics, do you know what I mean? But come on, we're talking about a newly promoted team and we've got a squad that's worth over 400 million. We should be taking it to these teams and dominating the game, dominating possession. But we're not. We're sitting off. But do you know when you sit off as well? Normally you sit off and you press in pockets or you set traps. We didn't do that. We were so easy to penetrate still. Just like the centre off was just carrying it out. One split pass through the midfield straight onto our back line. I was like, we're not even a tight shape. So yeah, there was elements of that game that was still very worrying. But I was more relieved, if anything. That was the word for me, relief, that we just ended this 4-game losing streak. We're back to winning ways. That's it. The next 5 out of the next 6 are at home as well. So.
I did say that. We said it on the stream last week, didn't we? I looked at your fixtures and I was like, come on, you're going to be in the top 4 by the end of October.
Top 4? We'll be top by December, bro. That's it now, man. The 10 Hag train's back on the tracks. That's it.
Hannibal Medri is sourcing Johnny Evans. Johnny Evans armband. You do a lot worse than Johnny Evans armband. I'm telling you now. He's certified. I'm validating Johnny Evans.
He was very, for me, he was a man of the match. Bruno got man of the match. And apart from his goal, he was just, obviously he's a match winner. And that's probably why he stays on on the pitch long, and a lot of fans get frustrated about that. And I do think it was one of the things that Ten Hag was criticised for before he joined, when it was like a toss-up between him and Poch, was how much he rotated his squad at Ajax. And I do think you're seeing that now. Like, he doesn't change the team a lot. It took him till 85 minutes to make substitutions, and he brought Evans off and brought on Varane, and then he put Reguilon, got a tight hamstring, and then he put Amrabat left back. And everyone was like, what? So everyone was like, why didn't he put Dalot left back and Lindelof to right back, and then Varane and Evans just stay on, and then put Amrabat into midfield? But he put Amrabat left back. It looked so awkward. Gave away a free kick. We nearly conceded in the last minute. I was just relieved for that final whistle to blow. But yeah, Bruno got man of the match, but he gave the man of the match award to Evans, which was
I've seen it. It was a nice touch.
Yeah, and he deserved it as well. So yeah, relieved to get the 3 points. It wasn't pretty at all, but we scrapped our way to victory. But the only way is up. It literally can't get any worse in terms of the quality of football. But yeah, I was happy to get the 3 points, mate.
So yeah, Liverpool 3-1 victors against West Ham. A routine performance, routine scoreline in the end, but West Ham are decent. I'm telling you now, they're a good side. That Souček, Kufal, is it?
Yeah.
Kurt Zuma, that Aguerd at the back. Aguerd had a really good game.
He's quality, I guess.
Really surprised that West Ham tried to buy Maguire to replace that Aguerd. He is a really accomplished defender. MICHAIL Antonio was a handful up top. They're good. They're a good quality side. So to go in at halftime 1 each, I did think we've got a bit of a task here. We need a big second half performance, and we brought it, to be fair. I did think when I was watching it, West Ham are not going to keep up these energy levels because, like I say, the first 20 minutes, they come out the blocks so fast. And I did think this might be one of them games where we win it off the bench, and our quality on the bench shines through, putting on Gakpo, Jota, maybe Harvey Elliott. Just for the last 20, but it didn't get that far. Obviously, it was a lot more comfortable in the end. But yeah, Jurgen Klopp. The most important thing is that his smile has never been broader again. You can see that he must have been through the ringer.
Beaming, isn't he? Ear to ear, beaming.
Yeah. He's been feeling the pressure. You've seen it in the press conferences. You've seen it. There's clips on Twitter and stuff where he signed a fan's shirt and he swore at the fan, saying, "You've got to hold the effing shirt."
Did he?
So you can see he just looked under pressure, and you thought, we mentioned before, if he doesn't get back in the transfer market, I could see him walking, and I'd support him to walk because he can't work under these conditions again. But we've spent 100 million net, which by our standards is incredible money. It is more backing than he's had in the last 8 years anyway. Yeah. It's all coming right. And do you know what? We haven't had that many injury problems, Trav. No, we've only really had Trent out and Konate out. Van Dijk felt like an injury because he got the red card and he missed 2 games. So it's almost like, feels like the defense has been a bit patched up due to injuries, but it's not really, because we've had Matip. Luckily, we've had Matip and Gomez both fit to slot in a centre back or right back to cover it, and they've covered it really well. But these next 2 games coming up, I would love to say we're going to be Spurs and Brighton both away. I mean, how's your luck? The luck of the draw. Probably 2 of the hardest games to go to right now, because Spurs and Brighton are both absolutely flying, and they're going to be right up for this because of the home team. They're going to be just amazing games. I don't know if they're on TV or not.
They will be. I think with Liverpool, though, because you've got so much pace in your front line, you sort of set up to, you can control games, but you sort of set up to counter-attack as well. Like the Newcastle game, you won that with 10 men purely based off the physical attributes of your front line, just pure pace. And I think the way Spurs play, I'm not saying that they're not going to have something in the game. I think it'll be a fantastic game, but there's just something. I'm shutting my eyes now. I'm just visualizing the game, and I just can see Liverpool just like picking them off on the break. I'm not saying you're going to batter them, but I just think like Spurs need to be wary. I know they'll be full of confidence going into that game and it's going to be a huge test for both teams, but I just think you might edge that. I think the Brighton game might be more difficult for Liverpool just because they keep possession longer. Do you know what I mean? And Liverpool are like used to having like possession for long periods of the game and stuff like that. But I just think Brighton, tighter pitch and stuff, they'll be a little bit more cautious than what Spurs will, because Spurs will come all out full throttle. But yeah, they're going to make it is a big test for Liverpool. If you can come through those 2 games without defeat, you're going to put yourself in a really strong position.
Did you see Brighton's lineup today?
No, they must have rested a few.
Yeah, but how? Like, their squad is absolutely mad. They rested Solly March, Matoma, Tariq Lamptey, who was man of the match last week. You've got him in my FPL team, so I was hoping for a clean sheet and some points today, all on the bench. When you look at it, you think they've got a mad squad.
Yeah.
And they do it all the time. They'll make like 5 or 6 changes.
I know. It is. I think, like you said, it's confidence, mate. The manager, what he instills in them is a joke. Like, you can't tell me Lewis Dunk was known as a ball playing centre half and stuff like that. It's just what he's making them into. He makes them into a fantastic team. Yeah, so they're going great guns, Brighton. They must be up there still, because I know they were 1 down and everyone was like slamming De Zerbi on Twitter saying, oh, your boy's losing and all that, and then they come back and win and stuff like that. So yeah, I think Brighton are in for a great season as well. But like you said, I think once they start getting into the thick of the Europa Conference League, they're bound to feel it a little bit when the games start coming thick and fast. Obviously, the international break's breaking it up at the moment, but then after this next international break, I don't think there is any till February. So that's when it starts to get tough over Christmas period, and that just after that side, you'll see squads stretch then, and it'll be a real test. So we'll see where we're at then after about 10-15 games.
It's all to be discussed and played, but what a start to the season so far.
Brilliant.
Obviously, Man United are looking to turn it around after a tepid start. Who's flying? Manchester City just looked like a level we've never seen before. I could see them winning 20 in a row. Do you know that?
Yeah, I know.
They're incredible. But yeah, we'll be back to preview next weekend's games. We're not going to do any EFL Cup streams, are we, Travis?
No.
Unless it's a mad result or a mad game, we might jump on. We've got 10 people watching. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to smash that like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. Really appreciate it. But Trav, cheers for your time, and we'll see you on the next one.
Peace.
Cheers, guys.
Header. But Gerrard! Oh, you beauty! What a head, son!